everybody, and welcome to another video on the Nostalgia Funhouse YouTube channel. For today, I am your host, Andrew Lenz. I do the Let's Plays, the Funhouse arcades, everything else. If you know my co-host Johnny for the podcast we do on the Nostalgia Funhouse, he does Did We Need This with me as well. And if you've never seen it, Did We Need This, we do have 3 of them out. And it is where we take a licensed video game and we see, did we need this? You know, from our childhood or something. But today I want to talk about multi-carts for the NES and what I do and how I play retro games, because I'm a little bit of a collector, but it is pricey. So I can't always afford the game, and I don't really collect to display. I collect pretty much to play. I know it might sound kind of weird to some people, but if you've watched listen to the podcast before I changed it to Johnny and I changed it to the Nostalgia Funhouse under Let's Talk With No Politics, okay? If you go down to my earlier episodes, I did one on grading where I just don't think I don't like it. So when I buy a game, I'm going to play that game. And there's a lot of games that I wanted to play, but I just can't afford. So I use something like this. It is a 239 games in one. Sorry if it's kind of going off. It's cheap. It's easy. I use it. I don't use an NES. I use a Classics 2 HD, which I will show both of these listings in a minute, and also I'll leave in the description below. But this is how I play those games that are a little bit too expensive. You know, the Little Samsons, the Flintstones, what is it? Surprise at Dinosaur Peak. Those games, or Mega Man, if you want to go back and relive those childhood memories, I really enjoy this way. I'll show you some gameplay of stuff later on, but I want to show you the actual listings on Amazon here and show you how much it is. Because like I said, I just feel like it's a great, cheap, affordable way of doing this. Here it is, 239 in one. And it is great. We look at kind of the playlist here. Like I mentioned, there's Little Samson. I believe it's got both of Flintstones. It's got The Simpsons. I mean, if you want to, Goonies 2, The Karate Kid, both Zeldas, Boy and His Blob, Arch Rivals, both DuckTales. I know a lot of these games mean a lot to a lot of, people out there, and they want to play it. And the other great thing I noticed about this as well is it has Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I do play my RetroPie more now, but this has Mike Tyson's Punch Out, as you can see, Star Tropics, and the games do save. But my RetroPie does not have Mike Tyson's Punch Out. It has, what does it have? It has Punch Out, regular Punch Out. I don't know why I could remember that, but that's what it has on there. So this is a great way to just go through those childhood games. The only bummer thing is it did not have Castlevania 3, and I've always wanted to play that, but I have not really played it. Even though I have a RetroPie, I'm still playing the older games. Bucky O'Hare's gone up in price. A lot of these games cost a lot of money. So this is the option that I use. Here's a view of kind of the internals of it, showing you what's going on. And for $42.99, it's not, I would say it's not bad at all. And so that is the cartridge. I'll show you briefly what I play it on. It is, like I said, a classic, an old school classic 2 HD. I think it's a lot of I think it's probably the best thing I've had. I think it's better than a Retron 2 that I had. And the Retron 2 I found flimsy. This I do not find flimsy. I find it very easy to use, well made. I probably the only problem I had with this was when I wanted to do some screen captures, but I worked that out. I just bought, I had to use the video composites because if you look at the back, you can switch the ratio aspect. There's your DC in, your video composites, and your HDMI. I just got a AV to HDMI converter. It works wonderful. And that's how I do my screen captures, and that's how I'll be playing it. I don't think it looks that bad. But this is what I use right here. Comes with, the two controllers. It plays both. You can use the old controllers on it. I think it's great. And here it is. And like I said, I'll leave this again in the description below. But let's see some gameplay. If I know myself or most people out there, I could talk about this. I'm not getting paid for this, like I said. But you want to see the gameplay. You want to see what it looks like. You want to see how it feels and everything else. And I really enjoy the gameplay. And let's go check it out. So as you can see, all the games are listed in alphabetical order. You just go through, press which one you want, and it's pretty easy. And they look good. Like I'll do Ghost and Goblins, even though it probably won't last long. You just pick it, hit start, and it looks like regular old Ghost and Goblins. Sound is good and everything else. Nothing too different, I would have to say, from any other gameplay. Controls feel so bad at this game. You gotta get the knife. Controls feel great. I've never really felt like they're laggy as I forget to jump over. This is definitely, like I said, if you can't afford crazy retro pies or the cartridges or anything else, and this is not being played on an NES, this is being played on a Classics 2 that HD that plays, like I said, it plays Super Nintendo and Nintendo games. If you want me to go through my multi-cart Nintendo cartridges, please let me know. I can do that. But as you can see, it plays. Feels just like a Nintendo. This I got the flame. I'm supposed to get the flame. The nerd would be mad at me. But as you can see, like I said once again, it plays. And if you want to switch the game, you hit reset. That is probably the only thing. There's no really way to get out without constantly pressing reset. But it brings you right back to where you are. Like I said, Star Tropics, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Metroid, Mega Man 2, Super Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Tecmo Bowl. There's just a lot going on with this. I also started using this when I went through the ING's top 100 NES games of all time. And I used this at first before I got the RetroPie. And between the two cartridges, I found a lot of the games on there that I wanted to screen record, check out. Here's Mega Man 3, 4, 5, 6, and everything else. Check out this Mortal Kombat 2 just to see. Oh, like I said, if you hit A, it goes into an index mode, which is not the coolest. That's probably the only pain so far that I've seen. Where did... Oh, there we go. But as you can see, it's worth the $42.99. I feel, instead of going out spending the money on a game, and then sometimes they come in box, or somebody wants way too much money. It's very hard. I have no idea what's going on here, but this is something that is on here. Something about 2-button fighting games do not sound like fun. I guess I'm Sub-Zero. But like I said, I will leave a link in the description below for both of these as well. Just to check out. If you're interested, let me know. I love these. I still play them. The only thing that I have run into a problem with is my gold works on my Retro Champ. The green does not work in the Retro Champ. But like I said, if you're looking for just great old games to play for your NES, a great cheap kind of NES system, or with Super Nintendo, please check these out. If you want me to go over more on the classic HD2 or any of the Super Nintendo multi-carts, like I said, put them in the description below. I have not had really not too many problems with these, if at all. I'm not paid to talk about these. I just want to put it out there and say these are great to have if you don't want to spend the money, or you always wanted to play a game that costs way too much money. But I love these, and like I said, I'll leave the description in the link below. Check them out. And if you can, support the Patreon for Nostalgia Funhouse as well. And check out the podcast every Sunday on the BICBP Radio Network. And with that being said, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.